What is your legitimate I liked it before it was cool brag?
So this is a fun one. Back in 2017, my roommate and I took my girlfriend at the time and his now wife. We went on a double date to a Brantley Gilbert concert. And a guy opened up for Brantley that night. And he was on stage with his guitar by himself, just up there performing. And my roommate and I looked at each other and we were like, man, we don't really know any of his songs, but this guy's going to be really special one day. Like, his music is really, really good. That artist went on to have 9 singles go number 1 since that time. He's won basically every award you can win in country music since that time. It's a guy by the name of Luke Combs. This picture was when he came back to Baton Rouge in 2018. He sold out the same arena that he was performing in the year before.
Oh, do I have a good one?
Squishmallows. I got my first Squishmallow in 2017 when I graduated high school, and it was Cameron the Calico Cat. Eventually, Five Below started selling them, and I started picking them up here and there. And of course, now they're super popular. For good reason. But thanks to all the people who buy them just to resell them, I can no longer find them literally anywhere. And I don't feel like spending $20 on a stuffed animal that originally cost $5. And if you're one of those people, I despise you. Money's really tight for a lot of people right now, and we shouldn't be trying to make money off of something that brings a lot of people joy. So don't be one of those people. If you want it, get it. But if you're going to get it just to resell it for a higher price, leave it for somebody else.
This app, TikTok. So I've been on Musical.ly like that, just like everybody else. And whenever Musical.ly got really irrelevant and everyone left, I still stayed on the app, continual posting like every single week. And I was still very loyal, still posting on TikTok back in like August 2018. And even though nobody knew what TikTok was, I still used it until like 2019 when everyone joined the app. And yeah, I absolutely love this app, and I've been using it since day one.
Megan Thee Stallion, because listen, my girl introduced me to Megan in 2018. I'm pretty sure it was even before Tina Snow dropped. I brought in 2019 with the song Hot Girl from the top. I followed her around when she had like 100k Instagram followers. She had maybe 100,000 Spotify listeners. Listen, I take that as pride because now she's at 33 million. She is Grammy nominated and she will forever be my girl. Per Real See Real.
I think I might have been the first Yuri Plisetsky cosplayer. So the show started airing on October 6, 2016. I love figure skating, so I was watching it as it came out, and it was shortly before Halloween. When I needed a last-minute Halloween costume for a Halloween party, I did this. At the top on my old Tumblr, October 30th. Now that's a good chunk of time, but we also didn't really get to meet Yuri until the second episode. I didn't have the full outfit, but you can actually see up in the corner me doing my first Yuri Plisetsky closet cosplay on the 22nd. This isn't bragging rights or anything, I just think it's really funny, especially considering how many Yuri on Ice cosplays I would go on to do. But if you or someone you know did an earlier one, I would love to see it. I scrolled down the whole Tumblr tag and I couldn't find anyone before me, which is wild. I find this so funny.
Danganronpa. I've been into Danganronpa since 2016. I remember when V3 got announced. I remember when the demo got released. I remember when the prologue got released, and the only way that you could watch it was on YouTube by people who were fan subbing it. I remember when everyone thought that Rentaro was going to be the antagonist, and when the most popular ship in the V3 fandom was Kokichi and Kibo. When we were naive to think that we finally had a female protagonist in a main game. I'm not counting Ultra Despair Girls as like a main game because the play mechanics are different than like Danganronpa and such, but that still has a female protagonist. But yeah, I guess my flex is that I was into Danganronpa before it became this big, massive thing. I was also in the Danganronpa kin community, but that...
When I was like 4, my parents paid $15 for me to go see some country singer at my county fair. It was Taylor Swift.
5 years ago, I was a junior in high school and I was hanging out with my friend Grace, and I said, "Hey Grace, let me show you a song that I found." And she said, "Oh, I'd love to show you a song too, but I'll let you go first." And so I started playing the song that I wanted to show her. What I played was... And she looked at me after that line and said, "No shit, this is the exact same song I was going to show you," because we were queer women who had simultaneously found Jenny by the Studio Killers at the same time.
So back in 2006, this little-known artist named Taylor Swift released her first single on country radio. I was with my mom in the car and heard it and absolutely loved it. This was back before you could ask Siri what song was playing. But they would always say the name and the artist after the song. So I memorized her name, and a few weeks later, walking in Target, and there was her CD. And so I asked my mom what I could do to make some money. She said I could clean all the windows in the house. So I did, cleaned every window, and she gave me $10, $11, however much an album was back then. And I walked all the way to Target, bought that first CD, was a huge fan of Taylor Swift, and then the rest is history. Now she's huge.
Shut up. It was Billie Eilish. Just shut up, everyone listen. In 2017, I was shooting at a festival called Laneway, and she was playing at a 2:30 p.m. afternoon slot, and there was no one at this festival. There were about 150 people in the mosh pit, and I was like, this is disgraceful. This girl's gonna blow the fuck up. After her show, I was able to go backstage, and I kind of like saw her coming in the distance, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? And I was just like, great show. She was like, yo, thanks, man. Wow, you got beautiful eyes. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Anime. I feel like social media, especially TikTok, has made anime a lot cooler than what it used to be. Because back in the day, it was the nerdy thing to do. You know, I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, and in 2005, when Naruto aired on Toonami, you best believe I was in my room training so I could run up on all these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
So in like the summer of 2015, I had this random YouTube video in my recommended called The Worst Intros on YouTube. So I watched it, it was pretty funny, so I checked out the guy's channel. He had like 7,000 subs, but a lot of his other videos were, again, pretty funny and interesting. So I subscribed, started interacting with him more, he replied to a lot of my comments, and I found out he actually lived like an hour or two away from me, which I thought was really cool. So I watched pretty much every single one of his new videos, and I could just sense it that he was gonna blow up one day. And sure enough, he started uploading ideas that were just so random and so crazy, but made you want to click on them. And his channel began skyrocketing like the year after that. There was counting to 1 million, cutting a table in half, all sorts of stuff like that. If you still don't know who I'm talking about, this will probably help. Here's him replying to a comment 5 years ago. Another one, and another one, and one more. This video is actually unlisted now. Followed him on Twitter in January 2016. And here's a random screenshot I took of one of his notifications in 2015.
Mine was actually Melanie Martinez from when she was first on The Voice. I was like not really young, but kind of really young. And me and my little sister were so obsessed with her and how she always had her hair in like the bows and stuff and how it was split dyed. And I remember when Carousel first came out, my brother downloaded it on his iPod and we were just like obsessed with it and obsessed with the music video, and I've been listening to her ever since.
In like 2008, I downloaded these 2 mixtapes called Sick Boy and Poindexter by a member of a comedy trio that I was subscribed to on YouTube, and I was fucking with it heavy. Like, I was really fucking with it heavy. Like, that's like all I listened to at one point. And like, I think I was borderline annoying with it, because I was really trying to get people to fuck with it. Like, yo, listen to this dude. Like, he a geek like us, but he can rap and stuff. Like some people was fucking with it and some people weren't, but it's whatever. Everybody eventually became Childish Gambino fans anyway.
So it's September 9th, 1991. I remember the day well because it was 2 months to the day for my birthday, and I got my driver's license that day. That night, I went and picked up my buddy Dave, and we went to this local record shop. Got chatting with the guy who ran the place. He was an awesome dude, had a great ear for music, just a great guy to talk to. And we asked him anything new, anything exciting, and he handed us this demo tape. It was a pre-release tape of this album that was coming out. And he goes, this is some of the best music I've heard in a long time. And he gave it to us. Popped it in the cassette deck in the car, went for a cruise, and we rocked out to these tunes all night. Some of the best music I've heard in my life. And it turns out that album was Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. It didn't come out for a couple weeks, but the single was released the next day. We rocked out to it before it became popular. It was pretty awesome.